Hey, what's up friends? My name is Manik from the Sample Mania, and in this video I'm going to break down one of my samples from my new sample pack called the Sample Mania Volume 1. It definitely has that kind of Drake underwater sound to it. I used some vocals, and yeah, let's listen to the sample one time all the way through so you get a feel for what we are working with, and then I'm gonna break down each individual sound. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so this is what the full sample sounds like. Let's just start off with the first sound that I used. The sound is coming from 40's very own Keys. 40 is Drake's in-house producer, basically, and this is his contact bank right here. I love using it for that underwater kind of stuff, and this is what the MIDI sounds like. So the chord progression is actually very simple. We just have these two chords here, and we're in the scale of F sharp minor, and in the scale of F sharp minor, we're playing a 6-5 progression. And the reason it's a 6-5 progression is because D is the 6th note in the scale of F sharp minor, and C sharp is the 5th note in the scale of F sharp minor. The first chord is a D major 7th, and the second chord is a C minor triad with just the root note copy and pasted 1 octave up. Then, instead of playing it as a normal chord like this, I strummed it out so it creates more rhythm, and then I also added this top line melody up here, which is all based on the root note of the scale, which is F sharp. And when it comes to making top line melodies like that, I usually try to not overthink it, just try and come up with a melody in my head and then putting it down into MIDI notes. I mean, you could probably break it down into chords like this right here. This right here would be a chord, but you know, I try to not overthink it when I'm making these melodies and just click in and see what sounds good, because that's really the most important thing. And then also one important thing is, as you can see, I leave a lot of space in between the chords, and I do this because I like to use silence as an instrument, and it kind of already creates a call and response between like the chords down here and the melody up here. Then next sound I added is also coming from 40's very own Keys. I used a different preset, the exact same chords, and it sounds like this. Then I added a bass right here. The bass sound is coming from Trillion. You don't necessarily have to use Trillion because I know it's kind of expensive, but there's a lot of these synth basses out there in one-shot kits, in Analog Lab, for example, you can find a bunch of those. And yeah, this is what just the bass sounds like. And it also just plays the root notes of the chords. Then I added 2 percussion loops. The first one sounds like this. And the second one like this. And together they sound like this. And I like to add percussion loops in my samples to create some additional rhythm, and also to make it easier for the producer who's gonna add drums to this. I just like using percussion loops a lot. And then I added the vocals right here, and altogether the vocals sound like this. And so the vocals are coming from this plugin by Minta Foundry called Vocal Chops Prelude, and I just pitched it around a little bit so it fits the key of the sample, and I time stretched it a little bit. And yeah, I love using the vocal chops of this plugin for sure. Then the vocal effects. This is the effects chain I used for the vocals. EQ to cut the lows, compression, some tape recording emulation, chorus, one-knob filter, and then Decimart. It gives it that kind of underwater sound. Then in the next section, I just added this lead melody here, which sounds like this. And the sound is also coming from Forte's very own keys. And to be honest, the same as with the lead melody of the chords, I tried to not overthink it. The melody is based on the root note of the scale, which is F sharp. Then I just had a melody in my head and I tried to put it down into MIDI. That's really a game changer, and I haven't been doing that for a long time. Only the last year I started doing this, but it really helped me out a lot, which is coming up with melodies in your head first before you start clicking in. It makes it very easy because you already got it in your head. You just have to convert it into MIDI notes, which can take some time, especially in the beginning if you haven't done it a lot of times before. But with practice, you will get better and better at it. That's how I came up with this melody. And then as far as arrangement goes, I just wanted to have a section with the vocals, a section with the lead melody, and a section where there's not a lot going on. I remember I was trying to have vocals and lead melody playing all at once, but it wasn't fitting that well. And then I also like to stem out all my samples at the end, so the producer I'm sending this to has access to all the individual sounds and has basically full creative freedom over the sample. And yeah, that's basically the breakdown of the sample. If you want to learn how to make samples like this, find your own unique sound, work with serious artists and producers, and basically make a living from your music, just like I've been doing it for the past 2 years, then click the first link in the description where it will take you to a calendar app to schedule a Zoom call with me. And on the Zoom call, we'll develop an actionable strategy for you and your business and see if you're a good fit for my mentorship program. So I would definitely love to talk to you on there. And yeah, have a good rest of the day and see you in the next video.